Was good. Was good. Was good. Was good. Another episode of the another episode of the Goldblooded podcast, episode 15. Yeah, in the 1 5s, man. We halfway to 20. You know. So yeah,
Huh?
we're 5 episodes away from 20. Sorry, brain fart.
Halfway?
No.
Oh, okay.
5 episodes away. Just
Okay, where?
brain fart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, episode 15. You know what I'm saying? I'd be lying to you if I said a lot has happened. Not really, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't
So
shit happen.
yeah. But before we get into things that have been happening these past like week or two, you know what I'm saying? We always gotta check in with the fellas. You know what I'm saying? Gifted, Denver. I know Gifted's been going through a lot of PRing, a lot of ducking and dodging. So
I just ate a big ass cucumber and shit. Yeah, a lot going on, man.
how you how you been doing, bro? What's going on with you, man?
I'm cool. Been working a lot. It's been very hot in Detroit and whatnot, and I had like a whole race war shit going down type shit, But I'm staying on business at all times, so excited for this episode, man.
For sure. I don't know what you mean by race war, but I'll come back to that in a second. Denver, how you been, man? I'm assuming life has been pretty calm for you, but we never know nowadays.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, I would say. Just been doing content and whatnot.
Yeah, it is that. It's getting to that time of year. Will it be like to call it fourth quarter?
Doing content in the content wasteland that is the off season, but trying.
Yeah. You could really just be trying shit in the off season, like just seeing what works and what doesn't work.
That's what it makes me happy, bro, because all those guys here, they pack their bags and leave. It's free eats, man. Go eat.
Gifted. He loves his eaters, so
love my eaters. Love them. Salute.
Yeah, so before we get into today's pod, chat, make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing the numbers and like I feel like we've been actually doing pretty well given the inconsistency. So make sure to subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the inconsistent podcast, you feel me? Known as Goldblooded. Turn on post notifications. You know what I'm saying? Like the video, comment, share with your friends. And most importantly, join the playback. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to Goldblooded and you don't know what this is, most of our recordings are live on playback. Usually you just see it in the video in the little top right corner where it says playback.tv/Goldblooded. That's our room. That's where we do most of our, not even most, all of our podcast recordings are live in the chat with a live chat, as well as live games during the NBA season, rewind games, special events. We do have something planned coming up next week, hopefully. So we got a lot of things in store for this beloved community. So make sure to tap in, man. You know what I'm saying? But to get into things, first things first, Bleacher Report. I got a bone to pick with you. I'm not gonna lie. You came out with a most overrated players in the league list or article. I haven't seen it yet. Denver has it pulled up in the background. And one of my beloved players on my team but happened to be the number one player, the most overrated player in the NBA. So why is that? Denver, if you could pull up the list, please, that would be fantastic. But we need to get into the bottom of this because I want to know how they graded overrated, what it means, and things of that nature. So
all right. So I think I'll just read. So the cover picture is Jonathan Kuminga and Jalen Green ranking the most overrated NBA players in the NBA right now. This is from July 21st, which is yesterday as of the recording. It's time to have an uncomfortable conversation about some pretty good to really good NBA players. Ranking the association's most overrated contributors is always a painful meld of difficult and inexact. And in the interest of honesty, I really, really, really hate doing it. But I just got to riff about my most underrated players. It's only fair I undertake this exercise as well.
I'm sorry, can we pause? So he said he really, really don't want to do it, but he said, but I got to do it.
Yeah.
Basically, that's basically.
I'm pretty sure he did the same thing like last season or last year too. Okay. To that end, this list amounts to one big four-headed person's opinion. My thoughts are my own, and this is my attempt at having an honest conversation. It's not supposed to be a declarative or malicious troll job. Every player who appears here has real value. Some are fringe stars, or if everything pans out, have all-star ceilings. They wouldn't make this list if they sucked. My goal is to my bad. My goal is to
Wait, time out. Sorry. Isn't most overrated supposed to be like
if a
basically
player
kind of hinting
I
that
mean,
like they don't suck?
it can be like the player is still good, but it's just not like they're not as good as people make them out to be.
You can have a
I think it's
ceiling
what
as
he's
an
saying.
you can have a ceiling as an all-star. Well, yeah, I get what he's trying to say. My whole thing is this, before you even get into it, I just want to know what his criteria is, and as long as it's consistent. That's my biggest thing. If
Yeah.
you're consistent in your criteria, even if it's flawed and I don't like it, I can at least say you were consistent with at least what you're saying. So I can leave with something. Please
All
don't be
right.
inconsistent.
Player they wouldn't make it. The goal is to spotlight those who have outsized reputations or projections relative to what they've done on the court. This will be tackled from a national perspective rather than how singular franchises or fan bases are evaluating their own players.
Mm.
Okay. Case in point, the Orlando Magic may have overvalued Franz Wagner by giving him a full 5-year max extension after he struggled to knock down threes last year. But that sentiment was conveyed in the vast majority of reactions. So neither he nor anyone in a similar boat will be included. Why would you even want to include Franz Wagner in that conversation?
I
That's
don't know.
just dumb.
There was already arguments about him being the best player on the team, but I guess I
Which
digress.
he probably is, but
Low key.
this exercise also tries to account for could-be candidates who are adversely impacted by their current situation. Takes will fly now that the Cleveland Cavaliers signed Evan Mobley to a max extension. Most of them will cite his limited offensive development as a concern, and that's fair, but the degree to which he can grow will remain capped so long as he's beside two higher usage guards and spending time next to a non-shooting big. Someone like Jaden McDaniels falls into this category as well. The point of excluding him, Mobley, and many others, opportunity matters.
So opportunity matters, but not for Kuminga. Fair. Okay. So
Finally, the order of a subjective measurement of the disconnect between how a player is portrayed and his actual value and utility, both to his team and in a vacuum. Number 5 is Jonathan Isaac.
whoa. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, I just gotta say it's so funny to hear him say opportunity matters, and then his first player is a player that isn't getting opportunity to play more minutes. It's kind of funny.
I mean, he's probably going to say injuries or some. Per minute impact only goes so far when the minutes don't add. Yeah, he's been basically saying he's injured too much. Pick your favorite defensive metric. Jonathan Isaac probably rated at the top of it. Should we? I don't think we need to read like everything.
No, you don't need to read everything. You can skim
Okay.
over it. I just want to
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
something up really quickly because if this nigga is doing what I think he's doing,
yeah. Slew of lower body issues. Wait, the 26-year-old is as dominant as they come on the less glamorous end. Just don't expect him to do it for more than 15 to 20 minutes per game.
that's still not overrated though. Because
That's
even
literally still not overrated.
that's not overrated. If someone were to come into a game and in a minute per minute, like a per minute standpoint, were to be one of the best defenders in like literally in the world, regardless of his injuries being there or not, that's not being overrated. Because your value on the court, even with the limited amount of minutes that you're playing, is so immense that could actually change a course of a game within those limited minutes. So much so that you could actually argue that he's being underrated a little bit.
I'm just confused because like
Okay, so I'm
he's
skipping
rated
ahead.
because of his defense.
Yeah,
Like, that's why he's rated.
Make no mistake. This is a genuine bummer.
Oh god,
Isaac functions like a singular defensive system when he's on the floor, and he's adapted his shot diet to consist mostly of dunks, layups, and threes, the latter of which he drilled at a 37.5% clip in 2024. Cap situations. This is more about the over romanticization of per minute impact. You can have probably read or heard someone say Isaac was the NBA's best or most dominant defender on a per minute basis last season. That's impressive and valuable. It caused some to lament that he was ineligible for all defensive honors.
Okay, so because he didn't qualify for certain awards, that makes him overrated? Is that what he's saying?
Bro, not
But
cooking.
that's kind of the point. Isaac has totaled 1,000 single season minutes once in his career. It's not his fault, and it sucks. It's also a reality.
Perhaps. Oh wait, hold on. So my vision is actually cooked. Let me full screen this. No, you don't gotta zoom in. I got it now.
I got it.
Perhaps it is one he'll rewrite next year or maybe the year after. Until or unless he does, though, it doesn't make sense to campaign for his pseudo inclusion in defensive awkward, and I said awkward, defensive award talks as the mother of all. Well, if only caveats. Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
He cooking you.
No. This is super corny. Like, I don't understand how we're starting to overrate per minute standpoints, because if you could come into a game chat and play even 8 minutes of basketball, but every time you play 8 minutes it is positive play, then
Like,
you're valued.
yeah, like
I
I
just
don't understand.
like, that doesn't
Like,
make any sense. That's your role for your team. It's not something that's being overrated. A per minute basis, he is one of the best defenders in the NBA, bar none. He's doing so many things on the defensive floor as a switchable guy, someone who can guard on the perimeter, someone who can block shots, has length, his reaction time is good. He's poised as a defender. He could play on ball, he could play off ball. Like, he could do a lot of defensive responsibilities for you. Yes, within a short amount of time, but because he's not playing 35 minutes does not mean it's valued. Like, that's me. Like, you can also say, based off of a per minute standpoint and about maximizing somebody's value, I can go as far as to say Russ is the worst player in the NBA then. Because you have to play him so much to actually get his full maximization as a player. But when you don't, there's a lot of negatives that come with it. Like, I don't understand. Like,
lay off Russ.
it's just like, chat, that just doesn't, like, it just
He's
doesn't.
just making a point.
Stealing Ox's take, I know Ox said that, but like, that's my whole point is saying, like, that's like, just doesn't make any. And shout out to Ox for that. I'm not gonna lie, he low-key cooked with that take, I'll be honest. But
Yeah, and I don't understand. Like, this is just not a good, like, so that would be like, okay, so GP2 is now overrated in 2022.
yeah, exactly. Like, those players where I get it, they're injury prone, so they are like, I get the angle that he's coming from in terms of like, how much am I valuing this if he's not really available? But bro, 58 games is 58 games. That's a solid amount still, even with the injuries, given the amount of injuries that he has. And who knows, he might be able to still play more. But knowing that he's available and knowing that he's giving you 15 a night minutes, that's, bro, and the defense that he's giving you, along with bro, come on, man. That's just not an
I
overrated.
would prefer that over him not playing at all.
Yeah,
I guess what I don't understand is, like, who the hell is overrating this player? Like, most people just say he's a very good defender and leave it at that. Like, who is?
I don't know.
Then I say,
because,
oh
like,
God,
yeah,
he should be an all-star.
Yeah, because like majority of like the casual fans don't even know who he is. They don't watch the Orlando Magic play basketball.
That's what I'm saying. So why is he saying he getting overrated? Like, I don't see that.
Let's move on to number 4. Let's see what they got at number 4, man. Jamal Murray.
For a minute.
Wait. Let's hear him out.
I thought he was going to say the 2 is overrated.
Where would he be without Nikola Jokic?
Where would he be?
In the NBA?
Well,
okay. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Nigga said home.
Jamal Murray is a damn good basketball player. Fringe all-star. He has some ridiculous playoff games under his belt, including a handful of epically clutch shots. Reaching the heights that he's explored after tearing his left ACL in 2021 is an absurd accomplishment unto itself. Even last year, as he battled more injuries and churned out his usual doses of inconsistency, he averaged 21.2 points and 6.5 assists while sustaining generational chemistry with Nikola Jokic and downing a bonkers 42.4% of his pull-up threes. A top three mark among the 74 players who launched at least 100 of those looks.
Okay.
All right. Let's see, because we know the playoffs
I
is.
mean, can you go back to that
Oh, they
paragraph
brought an
right there?
effective field goal percentage.
Denver,
Oh,
this paragraph. Denver has not sustained a league average offense in the minutes Murray logs without Jokic since 2018-19. Over the past 2 seasons, the Nuggets' offensive rating has ranked 13th and 5th percentiles, respectively, during the former Solos minutes. Last year, Murray's effective field goal percentage went from 57.4% alongside Jokic to 49.4% without him, according to PVP stats. Now, chat. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, well, I'm not even gonna get into it. You can finish it. Finish
All
that.
right. Caveats abound here. Murray missed an entire season during this stretch, 21-22. The supporting cast has changed. Head coach Michael Malone substitution and limited staggering patterns leaves us to read into small samples, etc., etc., etc. But Murray is widely expected to get a 4-year, $208 million max extension after the Olympics. It's one thing to view him as a no-brainer max when we're talking about what ESPN's Brian Windhorst calls the fun max, that initial contract following a rookie scale pact. The third deal is a different type of investment. It needs to buy more certainty. Right now, Murray doesn't quite provide that. The need for this to change as Denver continues leaning into supporting developmental pieces is greater than ever, and is invariably what must separate Murray from receiving a patented star label.
Now, listen, chat. If you know me, I've been saying this for quite some time. Jokic is obviously the hub of that offense, but them niggas is not really shit without him on the floor, especially that nigga Jamal. I've been saying, like, even though Michael Malone has done this thing where when Jokic comes off the floor, he will really put out some shitty lineups to kind of gas that nigga's plus minus. But with that being said, that nigga Jamal, I don't want to say isn't shit without Jokic, but he's just not the same player without Jokic on the floor, which to some degree isn't really a knock. Like having
Yeah,
a player like
that
sorry,
and he only really shows up for 1 month out of the whole season.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like even in the postseason where you would see some Jamal Murray led lineups, them shits is ugly. Like you can't really run an offense around him like that, bro. Like it's just he's a great guy to pair with Jokic, a lead guard who can post up guys. It's a good shot, can get to the basket, is a little bit athletic, you know. But in terms of him being able to lead a second unit, he's always struggled with that, like always. So I'm not really surprised to see him on this list. I was kind of saying from that angle, he is overrated because paying someone 4-year 207 essentially is around 50 million a year. Like I'm just like guesstimate kind of thing. And
Yeah.
Jamal Murray's just not a 50 million a year kind of player. Even with going into this new cap and the spike and the TV deals and all that, like I still wouldn't know if I pay him $50 million. I
Like
just
he's not worth what Paul George is getting.
and Paul George ain't even worth that money. So it's just
Yeah.
like, is he even a 40 million year player? I don't even know.
I think he actually might be. My
40?
argument for my argument for why is independent of who he is as a player. It's the location in Denver in terms of what they have and their inability to get free agents that are at least his caliber.
Now, I will say that would help his case because of the fact that there's not really a replacement. But I'm saying in terms of his just market value when it comes to just peer to
Oh,
peer,
that okay.
like you're not that caliber of player. You shouldn't be getting paid as much as how like Steph, Kawhi, LeBron. Like you're not in that echelon. Neither is PG. You know what I mean? Like so I just don't think getting paid that much is ideal, especially with Denver having that MPJ contract, which is already an issue, given the amount of money that he's being paid and the responsibility that he has on his team, as well as Jokic's contract. Obviously, to me, the best player on the planet. You pay him however much he wants. Period. But Jamal is just like 50 mil a year for a player who can't lead a second unit to an average offense is a bit crazy. So that's just how I feel about it, man.
I feel like he chose the wrong player. I feel like I feel like the player that could not beat Mike Conley off the dribble in the playoffs should be on this list. I think Michael Porter Jr. overpaid as should be on this list
We've
over.
been knew he was overpaid,
Yeah.
bro. We've been knew that. We been knew that.
Now we knew that.
Okay.
But I think there are people who thought that they paid him that much money because they thought that he could actually, join them as that third star who could be like KD-esque in terms of his 6'10" shooting ability. And he's still just a catch and shoot guy.
He was showing, like sort of showing promise at the time, but obviously that hasn't worked out. Man, the Nuggets next season are gonna. Oh my God, Christian Brown.
I keep telling people, man, that team is.
You know what's crazy?
Christian Brown is about to be their POA.
People are so worried about us, but like we are on the decline. I get. Now I'm not even gonna put air quotes because we are. We are on the decline because of age and like money problems. These niggas can't even sustain a core to go back to a title run.
Jokic is 29.
He's gonna be 30 by the end of next season, bro. Once that 30 mark hit, it's gonna get serious. Especially for that nigga's knees, man. I'm just saying. But let's get to number 3, bro.
Miles Bridges is overrated. That's
who's overrating Miles Bridges.
But my question is, how you gonna put Kuminga after Miles Bridges? Actually, how you gonna do that?
Who is overrating Miles Bridges?
Who's overrating Miles Bridges though?
I don't know. I don't even know.
How much value does he provide to it? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know too much about Miles Bridges to sit here and call him overrated. I'll be honest. I don't know what he even does.
Yeah, I mean, like
I watch him a lot. He's not overrated.
Yeah, he's not really overrated.
What is he good at? What does he do?
Score.
He's a forward that puts the ball in rim. Plays physical.
But like what kind of way?
He averages.
Is he a closeout guy? Is he self-create? He's post ups? Like what is it?
Closeout, he occasionally can self-create. His passing has gotten better since he entered the league, but he's mainly just their wing that's a go-to bucket getter that fits next to LaMelo. And that's really it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
3 years. He averaged like 21 last season, I think.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound overrated to me. So the raw numbers don't do anything to the Wait. Go to that paragraph. The raw numbers paragraph.
The raw numbers don't do anything to detract from that perception. He just cleared 20 points and 3 assists per game while converting over 50% of his twos for a second straight season and matching up on defense with some of the toughest front court assignments. And yet I'm not sold on his numbers or role translating to a positive impact. Bridges' offensive portfolio leaves much to be desired. He still gets to the hoop, but his rim frequency tumbled to a career low rate in 23-24. Flickers of self-creation and a jump shot are scattered throughout his reel, but he's seldom been a bangable option for the perimeter. He has never shot better than 39% from mid-range. In 2020-21 is the lone season in which he's maintained league average efficiency from deep.
So he's taxing him because he's on the Charlotte Hornets is basically what
that's what it sounds like to me. Okay.
But niggas want to talk about, man, who's this bleacher? Who's this reporter?
Wait, so like he wants him to be like a lockdown defender? Like I don't understand.
I don't even know. I couldn't tell you what this nigga wants.
He's yapping to me. I don't.
Who's number 2? Because that number 3 was such a cop out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Jalen Green. Interesting.
Jalen Green might be overrated. I'm not gonna lie.
Nutshell case, the season begins before the All-Star break.
Nah. To be honest, I agree with that. No bullshit. I agree with that.
I'm not gonna like that. I ain't gonna lie.
Crazy.
So
he only started hooping. You know what? I'm gonna wait. He might note this. We'll see.
He is right. He starts hooping when shit doesn't matter no more. But to be fair to Rockets basketball, when does shit ever matter?
Nah, that's crazy. Wow.
Listen,
I didn't say that.
Take this past season after he started the year that had many clamoring for the Rockets to trade him. Green averaged 27 points while knocking down 56.4% of his twos and 40% of his threes. In the month of March, during that time, Houston went 13-2, and Green notched the league's second highest plus minus, trailing only Jalen Brunson. This is objectively incredible, but the regular season doesn't begin in March or after the All-Star break. It starts in October. So is this nigga mad for him having his best stretch?
Oh, he got the splits. Hold on. He got the splits pre-All-Star break, post-All-Star break.
He got the splits. That is true. It'd be one thing if Green's 23-24 campaign qualified as an anomaly. It was more like an extreme.
Microcosm.
No, I'm laughing because why is he going in on him like this, bro? This is crazy.
Yeah, he really locked in on this shit, bro.
An extreme microcosm of his entire career. He is notorious for coming on slow and then kicking it into a high gear as the schedule wears on. Just look at the career splits. Pre All-Star break, he's 18 points a game on 53% true shooting. And post All-Star, he's 22 a game on 56% or 57% true shooting. Well, to be fair, he's still below league average pre and post. So
yeah, still,
I hear you though.
What's the average? Is it 58?
58, yeah. 58.
I will say I'm not sure what the public perception is around Jalen Green, but I do think a lot of people call his shit fake. So it's like, does that make him overrated if we all think he's fake? Like I don't know.
It would actually push you to the underrated side because everyone's saying get rid of you. So yeah.
I would more so say the question is like, okay, like, you know, last year you had a child and then you started to hoop, and it's like, okay, that's great, but can you carry that on to the next season? Like off tops.
Can you get another
I don't know.
child? Let's see if he can. Chad, if he gets another child, he'll hoop. But if he doesn't, he's fall off. That's my prediction.
I think Jalen Green has the skill and the talent to be a very good player. I just don't know.
I think so too, but it only activates when he gets a woman pregnant. So
I don't know what his floor is.
We'll see.
Dear baby girl.
Let's get to number one, man, because I want to see
fever.
Jonathan Kuminga being the most overrated player is crazy. How is he more overrated than the Knicks? You know what? Let me shut up. Nutshell case.
We still need more at both ends of the floor for longer.
No shit. Okay, let's
agreed. I don't.
Okay, so how does this make him overrated?
So he was finally given a legitimate chance halfway through the season,
and you saying
now he's over. Now he's the most overrated player in the league.
Okay, let me read this real quick. Well, I was days away from embarking on this mission. I goaded Bleacher Report's resident Jonathan Kuminga's propagandist Grant Hughes into a conversation about his standing during the most recent episode of our Hardwood Knocks podcast.
You trying so hard his vocabulary, man.
I know, right? Framing Kuminga's value against the backdrop of Lauri Markkanen trade talks. Here's what we both had to say. 17 minute and 35 seconds. You want to actually? Do y'all want to pull that up? Can we? Is that available on like YouTube or no? So we can just listen to what these niggas are saying.
Ooh, okay, 17:35.
So I want to hear what they have to say. Let's see.
Yeah, that's true too, because his camp is like, where is it? We're eligible. Where's the money? And that'll be another discussion. Like, I don't know what the size.
I don't know what you would pay him. I honestly, I don't want to get into this, but I reached a point where I think that he might be one of the most overrated players in the NBA. And I don't mean that as an insult, but we're talking about him as if he's like this, like almost has this Mikal Bridges type of non-star value. And I just can't. I see the vision with him, but as of right now, I don't trust the jumper. I don't trust his ability to generate his own shot unless he's in space. And like the defense is just kind of all over the place sometimes. Yeah. So I see the vision, and that rim pressure is great, but it's just, and I don't know how much of this is on the Warriors. So I've just reached a point where it's, part of me is like, I understand why they'd want to keep him out of this deal. But then the other part of me is just like, yeah, it's Jonathan Kuminga or Lauri Markkanen. Like, it's not really a choice.
Right. Yeah, there's not an argument that Kuminga is a better player than Markkanen today. I think the Warriors may be fairly convinced that like a year from now, it might be a real discussion if things go right. I don't know. You're right though. Like, part of it is it's a glamour franchise. He's like the best version of like a hot prospect that they have. And so it's like everybody's aware of him, and the highlights do it too. Like we love, like, I've never, like, that's A+ athleticism. We love that. And then it makes it harder to, be rational about like does not show up in the right spots on defense a lot. Like he doesn't rebound for, like all these other things.
So chat, hold on, because I'm here to debunk. And because I'm not gonna lie, because
not gonna lie, he kind of cooked though.
No, he did.
Really disagree.
I still think but that doesn't make you the most overrated player in the league.
That's my problem.
On the season, for the entire season, I'm not even gonna bring up stretches. Kuminga literally averaged 16-5 on 53% shooting. He shot 32% from three, but converted 75% at the line. So yes, he's not the best 3-point shooter. 100%. I do agree. But let me actually just go pull up his game logs from this season of when he actually started getting consistent minutes. Let's pull this up, man, because this is getting ridiculous, bro. This is crazy. Okay, so when would you guys say his like starting would happen?
After the Nuggets game.
So
it
chat.
would have been like, or actually, he was starting at that point, but that was just like when he started getting 30 minutes.
I forget what game it was, but like the Bulls game near that, after he got pulled, then
Yo, since when does
he
basketball
saw a real
reference
PT.
get since when did basketball reference get all these damn ads?
I got to make the money, man.
Yeah, so after the Denver game, which would have been January 4th, for the rest of the season, played 30 minutes a game, 41 games, started 34 of those. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists,
On
54%
shooting.
Yep, 54%, 36 from 3.
78% from the line. I didn't expect that.
Literally post Denver, he was averaging 18 a game, 5.5 boards, 4 assists, basically a steal, half a block, 54, 33, 79 splits. And the 33% shooting is on 2 attempts.
In 29 minutes.
No offense. I'm not gonna. I do agree the defense has taken a dip. I think it's because of the offensive responsibility that he's gotten, but that's no excuse. You're that good as an
also,
athlete.
we were just all around
We were all around not a good
defensive
defensive
team.
team. So
Yeah.
even when he's saying those
Like,
things,
we were so bad on defense that Draymond was looking questionable at times, and that's just like that's how you know for sure.
That's how you know it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even to pull, let me pull this up as well because, nah, fuck all these niggas in this Jonathan Kuminga overrated shit, bro. I fucking hate that shit, man. It's so freaking stupid to me, bro. Because your excuse for him being overrated is that you need to see more of it, which doesn't make you overrated. I just
don't
doesn't
know what
even.
the barometer is to being the most overrated player in the league. Like, are we saying everyone has to think you're nice, but you're really ass, and that's what makes you
His
overrated?
on-offs were good as well. He was a +4 essentially when we were playing. He when he was on the floor, we had a 118 offensive rating, and we had a better defense when he was off the floor. We had a 119 offensive rating. Not offensive, sorry. A defensive rating of 119 and a defensive rating of 114 when he was on the floor, essentially.
Well, to be fair, that could be that's lineup dependent too, because he was playing a lot of minutes with Draymond.
He was, but nigga, he's still very impactful in terms of what we were doing. And the reason why I know this is because during the season, the wing who was starting over him was playing some of his worst basketball of his career. And he came in. And no offense, he came in with the amount of limited skill. I'm not even gonna put air quotes for that neither. With the amount of limited skill set that he has as a player, he came in and impacted the game at arguably the second highest level outside of Steph during that run, like during that stretch where we were playing decent basketball. Because offensively, he was our second.
He averaged 19 without having a consistent jump shot on the team.
Like, is that not scary for someone who to like average 19 a game on 50% shooting and to not have a consistent self creation or be able to like he was saying, play in space? That's scary. And I'm gonna be real again. I'm gonna be so real because I don't know if you could do this for clean the glass, but I'm gonna pull this up because what he was doing as like at one point during the season, he was shooting very well from from 3. I remember from what I remember. Sorry. And for someone like Jonathan Kuminga, especially the corner 3, which I think was important, he was shooting very well on those as well. And it's just like there's not. Sorry, I had to sneeze. There's not much more you can ask from him as a player in terms of like what he needs to do for the team during the moment. But yeah, again, he shot 44% in his long middies, 42% on all mid-range jump shots, 42% on short middies. The corner 3, he was a 40% corner 3-point shooter.
Yeah, which corner? Or just both
corners?
Just
in both corners, 40%. He was 21 of 52 from the field on threes. The non-corner threes is where he was really bad, but like everything else was in the corner three he was fine. He was shooting, bro. You know what his rim percentage was at the rim? Just guess.
77.
Gifted.
Give me 73.
Yeah, he's 74. You're really close. 70. So
Yeah.
basically, you're getting a player, chat, who defensively was inconsistent for that year, which I think is not really what we're accustomed to seeing. I think with Kuminga, you actually get a lot more upside defensively, like how you seen the year prior. I think he was much better that year defensively than this year. Last season. Offensively, you're looking at a player who, yes, he doesn't have that much self-creation chops. He is someone who needs to work on those things. I was saying that myself. But if he is someone who in space can get downhill constantly, has decent footwork, his post-up game is actually has gotten like a lot better since he's came into the NBA. His step throughs are really nice as well. And he's just a constant off-ball threat with the system that he is in. I don't understand how you can label him as overrated. Now, if you want to say something like the reason why I'm overrating him is because how the Warriors are valuing him given the trade, then I could somewhat see that. But as a player, I don't think he's overrated. I think he's rated exactly how he is, a player who's young, who has a ceiling that he has to potentially become a two-way player that's very impactful. And I think that with the Warriors, they have the tools to be able to unlock that. They are just hell-bent because they have a player on the team who wants to go out and win. That's the situation, in my opinion.
Okay. I don't disagree with his points about Kuminga. I think those points are valid. My problem is when you say overrated again, what is the barometer for overrated? Because in my opinion, a player that fits that mold way more than Kuminga would be Domantas Sabonis, a player who is receiving all NBA votes, defensive player of the year votes when he's a shitty ass defender. If that, like, to me, that's what overrated should mean. A player that is in a situation where Corey Joseph is taking some of his minutes away.
Or going back to Sabonis, I know you're about to talk about, or go back to talking about Kuminga.
Yeah.
Or like a player that gets like praise for the numbers that he's putting up because people don't see how those numbers are happening. And
Exactly.
just the fact that he's literally just standing in the same spot every single play.
Yeah.
Well, yes, he is somewhat of a play initiator. That's not really. I mean, there's definitely a difference in like the 9 assists or 8 to 9 assists that he gets compared to someone like Trae Young. Like,
Exactly.
it's just not the same.
Yeah. And like
Or
that's
even,
not
or
hate
even
towards
Draymond.
Yeah, and that's not hate towards Sabonis. I'm just saying in terms of overrated, again, the majority of the league looks at Kuminga as a young player with flaws who could have an all-star ceiling, maybe. It's possible, right? Like, that's not overrated to me. People looking at Sabonis as an all NBA player who deserve defensive player of the year votes over Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Victor Wembanyama, that is overrated. It just is for the player that he actually is. So we need to redefine what the meaning of that word really is, honestly.
Some lists putting him like borderline top 10 in the league.
Yeah, nah, that's insane to me, bro. Sorry.
That's crazy to me. I'm sorry. But like back to what you guys were saying about Kuminga. Yes, like I think the original sentiment about his game having holes and him needing to be better, and the fact that maybe the Warriors are looking at him in the sense of like, yeah, this guy is a good player. We want to keep him. I don't know if we want to trade him in certain talks. Like I've said this multiple times. If it comes down to a player like Lauri Markkanen, who's a ready now, still young, can contribute to a winning team, but can also be your focal point for what you're trying to be in the coming years. For someone like Jonathan Kuminga, I think it's a pretty obvious answer of who I'm taking. I understand the Warriors' perspective of like not wanting to give up everything, like BPOS, Kuminga, all your picks. That's a bit unreasonable. Will say that 100%. But you're at an opportunity now, and honestly, I actually wanted to transition to this, where the Utah Jazz are essentially like, we just want one of the players. And one of those players is actually not even Kuminga. It's Brandon Pajemski. And for B-Pods, I actually think that I was saying this earlier. I don't know if I said this in the pod or if I said this just on one of our streams. I think with B-Pods, I was trying to say that like his value during the summer league time is going to be very important because if he shows the signs of growth as a player that he needs to show, he can become really valuable to this team and as well as his trade value in general. So much so that the Utah Jazz actually have been in talks with the Golden State Warriors about getting not getting Lauri Markkanen, sorry. The Warriors are trying to get Lauri Markkanen, and Utah's essentially saying, we want B-Pods, bro. Like, we don't really care about anybody else. Obviously, we would like picks, but the player in which we're trying to target is Brandon Pajemski because they're saying that he fits within the timeline as well as just what they're trying to build over there in Utah. And chat, I'm among the belief, like I said, if you only have to give up either one of Kuminga or B-Pods with whatever picks that you have to get, I'm making the trade.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But again, Gifted, Denver, how do you guys feel about like the trade discussions between the Utah Jazz and the Warriors? Do you feel like it's just fake, like everyone's just saying things that they want as a bluff, or do you feel like the Warriors are actually going to make moves? Because we have a time actually to get to, which is I think August 7th. I don't know if it's like a deadline.
August 6th, I think,
Yeah,
right?
August 6th. Yeah. It's kind of like a deadline kind of. So what are you guys thinking about these trade talks so far and how they've been?
Yeah. I think the Warriors are hilariously unserious. And I say this because they had the nerves to play Anthony Lamb and Corey Joseph over Moses Moody. So he wasn't good enough to play over those players in the spurts of the season. But then for a trade package for Lauri Markkanen, he's the only player in the deal. If that's not unserious, I really don't know what to tell you. Like they're not even offering Kuminga or B-Pods. They're saying, here, take Moody, take some picks. And by the way, the picks have protections on them. So they're really not being serious to me at all.
There was a top 20 protected pick that they were offering that was owned by Washington. So
disgusting.
Yeah, I don't understand. We're trying to fleece Danny Ainge.
Like, come on now.
Look, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. Like, you're trying to retain value, trying to get getting Lauri Markkanen is a bit difficult. You're wanting to retain value. There's things that like make sense that I understand what you're trying to do. But we're gonna keep repeating this point week in and week out. As long as that nigga Steph is playing at a top 10 level, and he is capable of being the guy who can be a 1A or contributor to a championship team, you continue to build teams to go get those titles. Because that's what the end goal is, regardless. And he is your best player of all time. You do right by that player. You do right by that player, period. You lost Klay Thompson already. We don't need to continue to discuss that, obviously. But the team that you have now isn't good enough. I don't even know if it's good enough to make the playoffs. I'm not even going to lie to you. I couldn't sit here and tell you that we're a guaranteed playoff team.
I can tell you they ass not making no damn playoffs.
Because if you look at
I'll say it right now. Shitty ass roster.
If you
goddamn Kyle Anderson as my replacement for Klay Thompson shooting. Variance Buddy Hield, number 7, the most variance number in the league.
Not too much on Buddy. But listen, if you look at the team from like a top to bottom team, like top to bottom seeds in the West, you look at the OKC Thunder, better team than the Warriors. The Minnesota Timberwolves, better team than the Warriors. Denver Nuggets, even though they lost a lot of players that I think helped contribute to championships, it's still a better team than the Warriors. The Clippers, still a better team than the Warriors.
Memphis.
The Memphis Grizzlies, still a better team than the Warriors. The Sacramento Kings, still a better team than the Warriors. The New Orleans Pelicans is still a better team than the Golden State Warriors. Like, yeah, and I'd even name teams like the Houston Rockets, even though I don't fuck with y'all, nigga. Shout out to you. You might be doing something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't even named those teams. So we don't even know if you're a shoo-in for the play-in, my nigga. The Lakers, I'd even mention them. We don't even know if you're a shoo-in for the play-in. We don't. Given how it even was last year with you being the 10th seed, we don't know. So to come back another season with slight improvements isn't going to do anything for you. It just really isn't. So that's what I'm saying. You need to put your chips into your best player, which is Steph Curry. And if that means you have to let go of Brandon Pajemski and potentially even keep Jonathan Kuminga, I would do it. Now, I do believe that with Brandon Pajemski, I'd keep him over Kuminga and just see if you can give a little bit like more picks, but give up Kuminga so you could keep B-Pods, because I really do like B-Pods. But if you could keep one of them, I don't care. Just make the deal happen. Literally, just make the deal happen. Denver, do you have anything about?
I
They-
mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like it was I feel like you touched on everything pretty much. Like I feel like sort of the same way where it's like I would prefer to keep B pods over Kaminga, but obviously if like all it takes is gonna be one of them, then like bro, you gotta you gotta get on that.
Yeah, like and I've been hearing as well that B Pod's his not personality, I guess his personality and his his I don't want to say, I guess, chemistry with the team in the front office and like how he's looked at, perceived, is like really high amongst everyone. Like people respect him, like he's beloved in the front office. So I can understand that there's relationships there and it's tough. But at the end of the day, bro, Lauri Markkanen is not a player that you can just go and grab all the time. That's just not something that's always going to be available. And if the Danny Ainge and the stinginess that he is and the track record that he has is only asking for one of your like players, you have put some damage into that nigga's armor. Like you should just take your win and go get that player, bro. Like just go get him. Because
Look, it's all funny games until Lauri Markkanen extends on the 6th. If that happens, it makes it a lot more complicated to go get him.
it does, because we're gonna have to start getting contracts in order and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and once that happens, then teams, I don't even depending on actually, I'm not gonna lie, this might be a hot take. Depending on how much he signs for, that might really hurt teams. Unless you're the Spurs, who you could just take on the contract. But like teams might not be able to be
because
willing to take on the contract.
What is he gonna be eligible for?
I don't know. It's probably in the twos. It's got it. Everyone's signing.
It's got to be in the twos.
It's got to be in the twos, 100%.
And the tricky part with that is, if that happens, I do feel like the bidding is going to be bigger. But remember, the Golden State front office is not trying to go over the apron. They want to have flexibility. So if he signed to a bigger contract, they might just say, "Oh, well, never mind."
Yeah, because they don't want to. It's weird. There's rumors saying that they were willing to sign PG to 50, but not take Lauri Markkanen, which is a big question.
Yep.
But
so last season, Lauri Markkanen averaged 23 points, 43% or 48% from the field, 40 from 3, 8 rebounds. So yeah, his 18 million contract is
yeah, he's making
not,
the 40s.
He's not going to be making that anymore.
He will be in the 40s. He will be in the 40s, 100%.
Yeah,
He will
easily.
Maybe
50s.
Yeah, and I'm not even mad at that, given the how
he's one of the best all-ball shooters in the league. It's yeah.
I don't know. He fits it right in the Warriors system too. What are we doing, guys? Like I don't. Oh man, this pissing me off. But I don't want to think about it too much. But moving on with B Pods, as well. I actually want to talk about his summer league a little bit and how that's been going for him. I'm not gonna lie. B Pods and the Warriors summer league has been highly impressive. They lost in the semifinals against the Miami Heat, but TJD, who's another player that we really haven't discussed since the offseason started that much, him and B Pods have been magnificent for the summer league. They were dominating the California Classic. They went undefeated up until losing to the Miami Heat. They were really showing like their leaps as players. I think TJD's become a lot more poised. He's starting to understand the role with the Warriors. And like you can almost sense like I don't want to say a vet vibe, but like he understands what he needs to do and what he needs to bring on a night in and night out basis. And especially with B Pods as well. And those two players to me are like really fun to watch, because when I seen their games and how they can fit in the Warrior system, especially TJD, I was just like, man, he's a perfect fit. Like he is what Kevon Looney is in in athletic form, I guess. Like someone who can actually jump. So it was great to see that. I don't know if you guys seen a lot of the games, but what did you guys think of the Warrior Summer League and what TJD and B-Pods were doing?
Why does B-Pods impress you?
Me?
Yeah, you.
He actually impresses me because of his scoring aggressiveness that he was doing in the summer league.
Oh, he's doing what?
He's shooting the ball more.
He's shooting the ball. Okay,
he's shooting the ball more. Why are you doing this to me? Like as if I wasn't the one who was
Nah,
actually playing this
just
Uh,
This is so crazy.
This was gonna make me mad about B pods because it's like the idea of who he could be. I want on his team, but if he not shooting the ball, like the nigga's Ben Simmons. If he not shooting the ball, I'm gonna just be so real with you. He plays like Draymond Green if he doesn't shoot the ball. I'm not making shit up. Y'all watch the games with me, bro. He plays like Draymond Green. So to me, it's like I don't really care to lose B pods in some aspects because again, I don't have confirmation as to what he's going to be. Is he going to bring the same aggressiveness to the NBA? I hope so. I think he can be very good if he does it. We've seen flashes, but to me, there's still question marks on him consistently doing that.
I hear you. I think his scoring aggressiveness definitely needs to be a lot more consistent. But to sit here and act like as if he's a Ben Simmons is kind of nasty.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I'm so serious.
it also
He
sort
is.
of has had like somewhat to do with role last season. I think with Chris Paul being
That's fair.
With Chris Paul being gone, that's one less ball handler that they don't have to worry about. Corey Joseph being
Very
gone,
true.
one less ball handler they don't have to worry about. And so I feel like it is.
Here comes
just
Kyle Anderson.
gonna be.
See, look at your here comes Kyle Anderson. Oh, Kyle Anderson, vet player, gotta respect him.
Yeah,
No, but the thing is,
my bad. Buddy Hield's gonna be initiating offense. Next
oh my
season.
Oh
god,
Lord,
oh
brother,
jeez, fuck.
in my life.
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I hear you guys. I definitely hear you. But I just think let's
I
pull
hope
up
he hears us.
let's pull up some film because I want you guys to see like the shit I'm seeing, right? Like, cause he's really just okay. I did not mean to pull up YouTube. Damn, that's crazy. Let me see my screen.
Gets busy in summer league.
My screen. Can y'all see?
Yeah, I see it.
Sir.
Okay. I'm just quiet this. Like, just watch some of the film. I'm a full screen. Hopefully, it doesn't lag. But some of the film, like,
Ooh.
Oh, you mean
Okay.
catching the ball and shooting it? Oh, that's interesting.
All right. All right.
you gonna keep hating? It was 20. It was 21 and 12.
Right.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Hey,
Oh, he actually moved and shot the ball. That's great, man.
this nigga gifted.
Ooh, very impressive. That was a good
I'm
shot.
telling you, chat. One of the best step backs in the league. I'm standing on that.
On 6 for this
On 6 attempts.
great pass.
Ooh.
His passing is really good no matter what. I can't.
His
Yeah.
passing is really good.
Passing, his defensive instincts. Man, if he
And,
just
like-
shoots the ball, he's going to be like one of the best players on the roster next year.
And like
is.
I will
If
say
we
his
see
his passing with Lauri Markkanen's off ball positioning could be very good.
And even then, even if we do trade him to Utah, man, B-Pod's given the keys to the offense.
Will be in my fantasy team next year.
Oh my goodness. You see that?
Whoa.
Come on, bro.
Now listen, I do want to ask y'all though, like realistically though, do you like the small guard lineup we'd have with Curry and B-Pod? Because that's food defensively no matter what. Like I don't.
He's 6'5", so
He's not no damn 6'5".
he is.
He is not no
Ooh.
damn 6'5", KB.
He is.
Yeah,
He is not 6'5".
He is.
Why are you? He's
I've
listed at.
Buddy, I've seen him in person. He is definitely 6'5".
That shit is fake. That's a fake
I
6'5".
he's a
He
stock
was-
6'5".
He was literally like basically eye to eye with
Ooh.
Donovan Mitchell.
He was eye to eye with who?
Donovan Mitchell.
God, that feels so fake when you say that. You're not wrong.
Bro, listen. I think I'm really high on B-Pods, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Donovan Mitchell's like 6'4", I think.
Yeah, he's 6'4".
Yeah.
That's another player that I wanted to. Hold on.
Save. Whoa.
So
Oh, a shot on the move.
Yeah.
You
See,
on me.
we didn't see those last year.
You did not see that at all last year. So don't sit here and try to act like
He would have dribbled underneath the basket, swung it back.
I listen. I will never forget that Suns game. I never let that Suns game go. When I seen him, bro, the nigga was literally on the left hash, wide open shot, and he cut to the rim with 3 bodies in the paint. I just cannot get that image out of my brain.
I was saying Pod's on ball reps needs to be a thing, and he's repping right now. The on balls is repping right now, bro. I don't know.
Look, all he can do is rep right now, but I need him to put this shit on in the NBA. Can he do that in the NBA? I want to see that.
He was just doing it in the NBA, actually. Just right now. What I was showing you is in the NBA, in fact, against NBA players.
I do not care about summer league.
So
I don't.
Yeah. So you just
don't. It's nice. It's nice, but it don't translate confirmatively.
Yeah. So Gifted doesn't care about development, guys. It is what it is.
Okay. No, that's not true. That's not true. No. This all looks very, very good. I'm just saying I refuse to bank on like, oh, he's doing it here, so I think it's likely that he could trend in that direction. But I'm also thinking that for Golden State to get back to where they want to get to, not only do we have to be better offensively, but our defense has to get back to what that is. And that relies on Wiggins being the wing. Because, by the way, he traded Kuminga. That's pretty much the only wing outside of Kyle Anderson on this team.
If we're considering if we're considering Kyle Anderson a wing, that's pretty crazy. But I definitely hear
that's how I thought we will be.
No, but I feel like he's such a 4 that like and a 5 sometimes. But like he's such a 4. Like he's not a 3 to me.
I mean, but KB, I want you to know if we're not saying Kyle Anderson wing, that means Andrew Wiggins is legitimately the only wing on this team.
And that's okay. This is my message. Wiggins
sounds awful.
Wiggins, get in the gym. Get in the gym, nigga. Because clearly
get in the gym. Talk to the family. Make sure everything is locked down.
Yeah, make sure the bills is paid, food is covered, everyone got clothes, everyone's situation is cool.
Make sure nobody has like anything health wise going on.
Because like, bro, you're arguably per dollar one of the worst contracts in the league. So like, I don't know. Like, you need to be better, bro. You need to be better. But speaking of being better, and this is actually one of the final topics of today's pod, is our good friend Steve Kerr. Steve, man. Mr. Kerr. So for those of you who don't live under, for those of you who do live under a rock, what's good, Superior? Team USA has gone undefeated so far in games that don't count. And they've been playing rather well, but something interesting is happening. I'm seeing something very, very interesting happen. As a Warriors fan, as someone who respects Steve Kerr and the things that he's done for this organization, someone who's very innovative, who made a lot of great decisions for this team, a lot of great adjustments, he also is flawed. There's obviously some things about him that tend to hold the Warriors back in some ways. And with that being said, a lot of people who weren't Warriors fans, who just thought we were complaining just to complain, were saying, no, he's a good coach. He's playing really, he's doing whatever he can with the shitty roster, which to some degree is true. But then he gets to coach the Team USA team, which is full of talent. You got guards like Steph Curry, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Tyrese Halliburton,
full of wing and big talent,
and Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker. You got wings like KD, you got JT, you got LeBron, you got the ADs, the Joels, you got
Jaylen Brown,
you got everything. Jaylen Brown. You got everything you need. Bam Adebayo, and
it should be.
For some reason, the
world
made
the cut.
The world has finally noticed Steve Kerr's flaws as a player.
But listen, KB. Before we do this bit, like, I need you to understand, right? For those of y'all that are not Warriors fans, what y'all see is a 4-guard lineup. What I see, Anthony Edwards is a wing. Drew Holiday is a wing. So really, it's like it's like a one, it's just Tyrese Halliburton, Devin Booker 2-guard lineup. But Holiday and Edwards function as wings.
Mm.
So it's not 4 guards. Y'all
So
gotta
who's
like, type shit.
okay, Gifted? So who's the 4 in this lineup?
Listen, that's a great question. That's a great question.
The 4
And
actually might be Drew Holiday.
listen,
I'm not even
Drew,
sure.
listen, Drew Holiday can guard up, so he's gonna guard up because he can guard up. So
Listen,
there you go.
as much as if he can guard up, and as much as he like I've heard him say, "Oh, I can guard Joel Embiid at like 7'2".
That don't mean he should. It don't mean he
Yeah.
should. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Like, so, chat, and to the lovely people listening on YouTube right now, bro, Steve, you've been exposed, bro. Like, you're a small ball merchant. We just can't deny it anymore. Before, with me, there was a little bit of cope. Like, there isn't really a lot of centers on this team. There's a lot of guards, so he kind of just has to play everyone. And that's what he was saying. So it was making sense.
Yeah.
You got every center and front court player to your literally. You had Walker Kessler in the FIBA World Cup. You didn't play him. Like,
He played
you're-
McHale at center.
you legitimately you just
Dead ass play McKill at
like,
center, bro.
and the worst part is that he'd be trying to play space. He'd be trying to play spacing lineups, but then he doesn't. Like, Steve Kerr is just a very confusing coach. Like, the starting lineup for the Team USA team is Steph Curry, Drew Holiday. You cooked. I really like that backcourt in terms of offense, defense, how they play off each other. I really like that. Devin Booker, Polar Bear in Arlington, Texas. What is he doing in the starting 5?
He's a
LeBron
bucket, man.
James. And then Joel Embiid, who it's not really your fault that Joel's been playing really bad. And these are games that obviously don't count. So you can keep playing him. No one really gives a fuck. But by now, you should realize AD should be your starting big man, especially the way that you want to play. Devin Booker should be out of that lineup, which I think he will be. And KD should be the one in replace of it. It should be Steph, Drew, KD, AD, and Bron. That lineup right there is perfect. You could put Embiid with Bam. He has a support system. You could play through Embiid in the second unit, and you could have some life there. But this,
I think Embiid's better at the off ball though than AD is.
Yeah, he is. But in terms of how the defense is being played in the starting 5 and how it's offensively ran, there's no need for Embiid in that starting 5. You have LeBron, who has the ball majority of the time. You have off ball action for Steph. And you need a little bit more action off ball with KD being there. And then AD can be your plate finisher, rebounder, cleanup guy. You know what I mean? And
He's been great at that.
Defensively, he's been their best defensive player, in my opinion. So, like, you need to be able to play him in a lineup where it maximizes him the most. And he has spacing in KD and Steph, and obviously LeBron. He has, as well as a lob. He has a lob passing. LeBron, Steph, those guys can get him the lobs. He has the plate finishing. Everything is there for him, and he'll get like space because there's space to operate in. But Steve, these 3 guard lineups, you're right. Like, why are you running Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, and Ant at the same time? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. You have too many good players on this team for you to be running that shit.
I mean, but the reason why he's doing it is, again, he doesn't view wings and guard the same way we do. He thinks, oh, you can guard up, you are guarding up. There is no listen. If you have the capability to do something, Steve Kerr is gonna make you do that. That's the issue, man.
Yeah, Clay at the 4 was a fun
an experience,
thing,
man.
Yeah, a fun little thing in preseason until we got to November and we were like, damn, he's still
they had Clay dead ass guarding LeBron repeatedly.
Bro, it's just not ideal. And again, I think Steve definitely has some positives to him. Like the bench lineup that he had for Team USA, I think he did a really good job with. Like Bam, AD, Jason Tatum, and that's like a really good defensive lineup. You could play fast. You could play in space when you're playing in transition a lot. You can get out and run. I really do like that lineup. But you just got to understand a bit of nuance, like Steve. Like, teams are more capable of doing things, and players are more capable of doing things, even if they're big. Just because they're 7 foot doesn't mean they can't move anymore. It's not 2017. Not every 7 footer is confused at the fact that you got Draymond at the 5 and things are just flying. Like, they're accustomed to seeing this shit now, bro. Like, you just gotta you gotta peep game and lock in. That's the best way for me to describe it, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
In our game against South Sudan, which we barely fucking won, there was a point in the first half where we were down by like 16 points. And during that time, we had a lineup, which was a 3-guard lineup. The 3 guards were Steph Curry, Devin Booker, and Anthony Edwards. So
Yep.
the best like guard defender that we had on the floor, and really he wasn't even a guard at that point, he was being played as a wing, was Anthony Edwards. And then
Like,
when
that's crazy.
he switched out Ant for, was it Ant for, yeah, it was Ant. He switched out Ant for Drew Holiday. We immediately started going on a run because we were like getting a lot more stops defensively.
Yeah, shout out to Drew as well. He's been such
Yeah.
a great
And Ant
defensive
is a
player.
solid defender, but he's not.
He's not
Drew
somebody you
Holiday.
rely on as an immediate POA defender. He's a
Yeah,
he's a
he's
good team. He's a
Holiday.
good team defender. That's what he is. He's a good team defender. He's not no Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's the best POA in the association. I'm not gonna lie. Before I was like, it might be Caruso. Nah, it's Drew. Drew's defense is actually outrageous. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, Drew
I've
is
never
up
seen
there.
someone's.
Jalen Suggs up there.
No, I feel like I don't want to be nasty, but like I actually like based off of what I'm seeing in this Olympics, I actually feel like there's a little bit of a gap between Drew and whoever's second. Cause like
That's fair.
his something I don't know what it is about Drew Chat. His lateral movement and him like just like his east to west movement is just crazy.
Yeah.
And he's on you like glue. Like he doesn't fall for pump fakes. He's not really like he's very poised. He's like when he's guarding you, it's like as if he's already been guarding you 100 times. Like he knows what you're doing. It's so crazy. Like shout out to Drew. I'm not gonna lie. Elite POA. The fact that the Boston Celtics got that shit for basically nothing is also insane to me.
The fact that they were about to walk into the season without a starting point guard and then just
got Drew Holiday. Like,
yeah.
W Celtics, man. W Celtics, man. Yeah.
But nah, chat, that pretty much concludes the pod for today. W pod, first of all, W pod. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on post notifications to be notified when we upload next, which should be, you should be seeing this tomorrow. Not tomorrow. You should be seeing this on Tuesday. We're just recording on is it still Monday? Yeah, it's still Monday. So
For another 3.5 hours, it's still Monday.
Now for me, it's 22 minutes, I believe. So, with that being said, chat, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, turn on post notifications if you haven't already. Comment down below, is Steve Kerr a fraud? Yes or no? And what's your favorite fruit? And yeah, any final words from Gifted Denver?
I'm burning up. I hope B pods. Yes, I'm hot. Look at my goddamn face with the sweat in my face off these bright ass lights. Yes, I'm burning up. I'll say that I'm burning up. Yes, I am.
I just okay, all right.
Yeah, I hope B pods shoots the ball still. And we wait until August 6th, man. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, most definitely. Hopefully, I wake up tomorrow when I upload this video. Lauri Markkanen is a warrior. But yeah, shout out to Gifted. Shout out to Houston. And
great place.
Great
place.
Great place.
Great
if you know,
place.
if you know, you know. And yeah, chat, with that being said, we'll catch y'all boys. Well, if you're on the playback, we'll catch you for the rewind. You know what I'm saying? But for the YouTube boys, we'll catch y'all next week for another episode of the Goldblooded podcast. I've been KB. It's been your boys Gifted and Denver, and we out, man.